Okay, there might be a little delay.
Yeah, there is a delay.
Boop. Did you send the link to the Patreons?
Yeah.
Or schedule it? Okay. I figured, but I just wanted to superly duperly make sure. I like how I'm the silly one. It's kind of true.
You make your cute robot faces. Oh, it says live in 60 seconds. Interesting.
Huh. Odd. Try rewinding or something. Maybe just like escape out of it and come back or something.
Where's like the subscriptions? There we go.
I would say just search for MMIX art. That's so cute! You did a good job!
Thank you, my sexy robot. I think we're live.
Hi!
Uh,
It looks like it's just trying to take a photo or something. Wait, no, you have to do the plus. Yeah, and then, because they fucked with things.
check the connection.
The scroll, the button.
We're having some trouble.
It might be because of all the interweb usage.
Yeah, well,
That's fine. Try again.
oh look, great. That did the thing. And we're live there.
It's
and we're
real.
live there. Wow, technology doing a thing. Doing a thing.
Matt is completely responsible for all of this, so
Yeah, there's a lag, so I'll just let that lag out there. And Hang on, we're telling more followers to join your video. Great, do the thing. Instagram algorithm.
Beep, boop. Oh my god, it's us.
Oh look, we're on the sexy monitor back there. That's fun. Let me actually do a quick thing where I make sure that... Hang on, we're telling more followers to join your video. Alright, now that we know sound works, and it's not gonna have the weird issues that we've had in the past. Hi everybody!
Hi.
We are... Oh wait, is there anyone here? Are there people? Yay! Rai is here!
Oh, hi! Hooray! Clap, clap, clap. We clap for you.
Fuck off. Okay. Doing a thing. Doing a thing!
Okay, so if you are tuned in on YouTube, sorry Instagram, but you're not special. If you're tuned into YouTube, we may ask you a question in the chat shortly. Hopefully, like a little later on in the stream.
Actually, if you're on Instagram,
So-
we may ask you a thing later.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it depends on who shows up, really.
Yeah, if you're viewing this after the fact, then, you know, tough titties, you don't get to participate.
Whatever. Anyway. So, let's start by, like, for reals introducing ourselves.
Yes.
I mean, everybody kind of knows who we are, but, like,
Not entirely.
I don't
guess.
know. Maybe not, right?
Right.
Like, I think some people don't necessarily know, especially for folks watching on Instagram Live, like, some folks don't necessarily know that we're just two people. We're not necessarily like, hi.
Hi there.
Hello. We're not necessarily, you know, like a band or a production company or anything. Well, we're kind of a production company at this point, like accidentally, but yeah. So I think we should probably just start out by like introducing ourselves.
Yes. Do the thing. So I'm Matt McCarthy, which is what the MM in MMIX stands for.
Yes. And also, because I want to normalize this, what pronouns do you prefer, or do you prefer any? Are you not into pronouns?
I don't really care. Most people go he, him.
Okay.
I guess I prefer beep boop.
Boop boop. Awesome. Okay. Hi, I'm Irina Zara. I'm the IX part of MMIX. I'm open to any and all pronouns. Lately, I have actually been favoring they and them. I consider myself a gender or gender fluid, and also a sexy alien clown robot, whatever. But I'm fairly laid back about pronouns. It's more important to me that people understand kind of how I think about my gender or gender identity. Yeah, so that's it. We are that's not it.
That's it, bye.
We're gonna talk more about like the specific genres that each of us kind of specializes in and brings to this project in a little bit, but we just wanted to start out with like a basic introduction.
And also sort of talking about the fact that tonight's live stream is not a performance, really.
Yeah.
It's a little bit weird in that we
We're a little bit weird.
We're a little bit weird, but we're opening it up to the public in a way that we haven't really before in quite this same way. And I think we kind of found our groove in the model where every other month is public, and every other month that isn't public is only for Patreon supporters. That seems to be a decent model. And now that we have the whole YouTube live thing figured out and fixed, as opposed to our horrible sound errors we were having before, hopefully that means that we can keep doing good and better things in the future, which is totally a word that I just made up. So yeah, this particular session we will just kind of be doing some Q&A. We have some questions prepared for each other.
Yes. And we're going to be curating some videos. It's exciting.
Yay.
And technically two of them are world premieres.
Yes.
So you're going to want to stay tuned for that fun, because awesome time. All right. Do you want to get to the interview questions?
Yes. Let's do a couple of questions.
Okay.
You have them prepared and printed up.
Okay, and Vera has also been awesome and submitted some questions to each of us ahead of time. So we're going to be addressing those as well, hopefully. Okay, so what art or other media have you been consuming recently?
I watch a lot of TV, so there's that. Specifically, I have been binging Supernatural lately because it makes the apocalypse feel manageable in a problematic buddy comedy kind of way. And before that, it was Doctor Who, which also makes the apocalypse seem more manageable, because aliens. I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens. And music-wise, I have, let's see, I got into the new Nightclub album called Die Die Lullaby. I recently got into this wonderful artist called Suzanne Sundfjord, a Norwegian pop singer who also has this fun dark edge. This girl duo called Bones UK. They do a great cover of David Bowie's I'm Afraid of Americans. And the new Lucifer album. It's pretty great. And I'm going to cut myself off there because I feel like I'm blabbing now.
Okay. Do you want to ask the question of me?
Yes! What art/media have you been consuming recently?
Okay, so I typically do not watch a whole bunch of TV in contrast to Matt. But lately I've kind of been digging into 90s/early 2000s sitcoms, just for fun. Actually, the actor Rachel True was in an early 2000s sitcom. I believe it was called Half and Half. And it's about, if I understand correctly, it's about like a black blended family, I think, and or they're like half biological sisters or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but I think it's also supposed to be a descriptor of her character because I believe she is like half white and half European Jewish or something like that. So it digs into some like interesting intersectionality subject matter that for the most part didn't really come along until a little bit later. And it's weird because like I don't necessarily remember hearing about this particular sitcom like when it was on the air, but I saw Rachel True post about it, and so I kind of hopped on and started watching on Netflix. And it's fun, it's kind of light and fluffy. Even for a show featuring POC, like there's some jokes in it that definitely would not fly like 20 years later. But it's cool, and it delves into some like interesting subject matter that was like kind of its time, but a little bit ahead in some ways. And we've also just been watching like Animaniacs and Married with Children. I'm watching like the first couple seasons of Married with Children, specifically because when it was on, it wasn't until I was like 16, 17, 18, that I was like allowed to watch Married with Children. So I'm kind of catching up on like the first few seasons when like Kelly is like a young teen and Bud is like a kid, or he's like a tween or something. So it's entertaining. Peggy is still ridiculously hot. I don't know what was wrong with Al that he never wanted to have sex with her. Like, I just constantly think about that all the time. But anyway, so I've been watching a bunch of 90s, early 2000s sitcoms, just as kind of like a creative palate cleanser. And then music-wise, I feel bad because I haven't discovered that much new stuff this year when there really was the opportunity to do so. But I have been getting back into System of a Down because they just recently released something new, but I also took the opportunity to kind of go in and listen to their older stuff. Back when I began belly dancing in the mid-2000s, like, there were some folks who would dance to their stuff too, because they have like polyrhythmic stuff and they have some interesting Middle Eastern influences. And then I also was recently, I was recently reminded of something that I can't think of now, so fuck it, let's move on.
All right. What's projected next on the agenda for your solo work?
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna do 2 in a row.
Yes.
I hopefully, fingers crossed, am going to try to work on reviving an older burlesque number that I had put together. I've not performed it since like 2012, 2013. This year has been a really weird year as far as like being motivated to get outside my comfort zone in certain ways creatively. Not 100%, but with certain things. So like burlesque, as far as like revisiting older pieces, has been kind of like the one thing I've been a little bit afraid to tackle. So I'm hoping to revive this particular piece. Alright, so let me ask you, what's projected next on the agenda for your solo work, Matt McCarthy?
So I am currently in the middle of doing a final round of vocal tweaking for the upcoming Rust Vision full album. Everything is pretty much mixed. I mix with scratch tracks, scratch vocal tracks, and continue to try to get the best performance out of myself as possible, so that I can be proud of it years later. So I may come out with, I'll probably will come out with another single before the album's release. But yeah, that is primarily what I am and have been working on with the headphones on in front of my computer in my bedroom hermited up like a crazy COVID musician. Hi, Carla. Oh, also, hi, James.
Hi, James.
So, that seems like a good segue. I will do the thing, and...
Yeah, apparently I blabbered enough so that we've taken up like 20 some odd minutes.
Well, to be fair, like, this is going for 5 minutes before we even started.
Okay. That makes you feel a little better.
Alright, so let's see if this works. We're gonna play a video. Or try to play a video. See if it works. Yes.
This is my first song.
Okay, so Instagram Live peeps. We were trying to let you in on the exclusive bit. Oh, hi, Lawrence! Holy shit! That's my friend Lawrence. Hi! Thank you for tuning.
We are
Hi, everybody.
all right.
Thank you so much, everybody watching. So, if you loved that and you would like to send us a tip, you can Venmo us at Irina Zara, just my name. You're welcome to. We gratefully accept tips. This show we weren't charging additional admission or anything like that, so we'd love it if you showed some love, but a lot of people are hard up financially right now too, so no biggie if you can't. All right, do you want to move on to
More questions?
Yes.
Harder questions. Harder. Ooh,
Okay.
harder, Daddy.
Okay. Daddy robots. Okay.
Hard questions. Ooh. What motivates you to create your art in particular? And then, what does it mean to you?
Breathing, existing. I'm one of those people who would be very poorly off mentally if I did not have the outlet of making art. In particular, I need to physically move my body and express myself through dance or movement or some kind of movement flow on a pretty regular basis, or else I'm kind of miserable. I hate to word it that way because, I don't want it to become a thing like a crutch that I use to deal with life, but particularly during 2020, I've really found that creating is an amazing outlet.
I just want to be able to type.
You have to
Weird.
you have to touch the box there. Hang on. There you go.
Okay, I'm trying to input your.
We're talking to our yeah, I know that I can't write backwards. At Irina Zara. Yeah, that's our Venmo thing.
There we go. Sorry,
Okay.
I had to pause for a second to do that.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what motivates me. So, my sexy robot,
Yeah.
what motivates you to create your art in particular? What does it mean to you?
If I had to boil it down, I would say that a lot of my art comes from dissatisfaction. And the places where I wish things were different. Pretty much all of my art comes from that. So when I did my audio drama, Dream State, that came from a place of being dissatisfied with the fact that dreams are given very little weight in our current society, and they're not paid much attention to unless they are the impetus for your fucking hustle, which capitalism has kind of ground down, and I feel like this other altered state of consciousness where we spend almost a third of our life just kind of gets overlooked. So I created Dream State where dreams have cosmic and even political significance. When it comes to glitch art, I feel like my dissatisfaction is on full display in that things don't work the way they're supposed to almost ever in life, and glitch art kind of highlights that in an age where we have become very digital in our existence and very reliant on computers. We are all androids at this point because we keep our brains in our pockets. So when our when we use our brains in our pockets for memories and things get corrupted, it produces a visually and aesthetically pleasing glitch. With music and with Rust Vision, that stemmed from being very dissatisfied with living in Los Angeles and particularly the entertainment industry. And what art can mean to you when you're like growing up and a teenager, and you can have music mean a lot to you, and then I grew up and then moved to LA, and then once I was here, a lot of the magic and wonder kind of wasn't there in anyone around me, and the industry itself is all just this name-dropping shit show. So it kind of started there, and then seeing that as kind of a microcosm of capitalism and our country and the West and what we have done to the world and how it's just gone off the rails at this point. So, yeah. Summed up, dissatisfaction, disillusionment, something along those lines.
Maybe this will tie into that question. How have you developed your career?
Largely by overshooting and aiming up here and then being dragged down to about here. But if you mean chronologically speaking, I took piano lessons as a kid, then I got into my own music and started taking guitar lessons when I was in middle school and into high school, and then took piano lessons one more time after that. And at that point I was just writing my own stuff, so I was like, fuck lessons, I don't care. And when I think I started experimenting with computer music as early as my teenage years. I made my first song on MIDI, using MIDI programming, and I was like on Windows 98. It was like really bad. Everything sounded hokey. It was equivalent to Mannheim Steamroller.
We were just having a conversation about how much they suck.
About like the worst Christmas music in the world, and it is Mannheim.
Because we have both worked retail during the holiday season.
So yeah, original like MIDI piano sounds are the worst fucking things in the world. Back in the day, like musicians today have no idea how good it is now.
You kids have no idea how good you have it.
Realistic piano sounds were very hard to come by back in the day. So I'd say after that I started, I bought a drum machine and started recording on my own computer and was constantly upgrading software and blah 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 blah.
Fucking Windows 98.
Yeah.
I love hearing Carla's commentary.
Then I started recording my own shit at home, and then I didn't know what I wanted to do as far as an album to put out or a band to start or what, so I just recorded my own shit and put out a few things under the name Villain with 1,000 Faces, and I wrote kind of a precursor to Dream State. Was this huge fantasy multi-book thing that I envisioned, so aiming up here, and then I wanted a big 32-song double album to go along with that. And it was too much for me. It was way too much, and I held myself to a deadline needlessly and put out a batch of songs that I didn't like the way that it sounded, and I took it down after that and was like, maybe I should scale it back a little bit next time, because I hate these songs now. Fuck everything. Fuck my life. Fuck this story. Fuck everything. And around that time, I got into photography. I was using a Canon Rebel at the time, and would import those photos into GIMP, which is the poor man's Photoshop.
GIMP. Simpler times.
Yes. So I learned all about image layering, and I would actually go into the JPEG coding and delete sections and like add in random text, and that would manually glitch the photos in very interesting ways. So back then it was just completely random.
What he's trying to say is that he did glitch art before it was cool.
Before you could do it this easily on your phone, I was doing it manually. The first phone app that I got was an app called Decim8 that was recommended by Rob Sheridan, one of my favorite glitch artists, and he worked with Nine Inch Nails for over a decade. Doing
He's amazing.
Art.
Yeah.
And he recommended it, and it turned out to be one of my favorites. I still have that app. I still use it fairly often. But ever since then, after college, I was fucking poor and couldn't get a job, so I was trying to stay in LA as long as possible and not move back in with my parents. So I sold my nice camera. I sold my very, very big amplifier for my guitar, and downgraded a lot of my shit. But I ended up being a connoisseur of glitching applications, and I also started making music on my phone. Once I started making glitch art on my phone, I found some apps that felt like they were fun and refreshing ways of making music, and a lot of the stuff that I'm making as Rustvision started out as little demos on my phone that I just exported into Ableton.
I remember him messing with them.
Yeah, there's this app called Figure, which is by Propellerhead, and it's not timeline based. It's all like loop based, so you're always stuck in a loop, but you can like customize shit and mute stuff and mess with modification parameters and stuff in the app. My single Servants of the Moon, that bass is from that app. The drums are from that app. Most of the synthesizers are from that app. And I just export them and add a little saturation, EQ them a little bit, and make them sound pretty in Ableton Live. So it's been a big learning curve for me. Wow, I've been talking for a long time now. So I'm going to stop there. But yes, eventually I got to where I am now, and saw capitalism destroying the world, and found a sweet, sexy robot to make art with, and here we are. So, and Irina, you're cute. How have you developed your career?
Internet ranting. Yeah, much in the same way that our buddy Trump has. I mean, I don't really use Twitter anymore, but pretty much internet ranting. Like, for that reason, I think some people out there probably consider me a liability. Other people think I'm great, but I think I just social media and Facebook and my personal usage of Facebook, because I had, when I was using it, been on Facebook since like 2004 or something, back when you really just used it to stalk people you wanted to fuck in college. Yeah.
It's Facebook for sex, except that's really what Facebook is.
But
LiveJournal. Carla gets it.
oh yeah, we remember LiveJournal. But basically, yeah, internet rants. I have a career because of internet rants. Like, I'm glad between you and I, at least one of us is not feral. Anyway, but previously, you mentioned your new single, Servants of the Moon.
Oh, yes, I did.
Isn't that a wonderful segue to what we're going to do next?
I think it might be a fabulous segue of what we're going to do next.
Okay, so here's a little thing for the folks watching on Insta Live. If you would like a slightly better quality and not just bootleg movie theater quality of what we're about to show, go to YouTube, enter Rust_Vision, and then Servants of the Moon, and you should be able to pull up the official music video.
Yeah, it should be one of the first things that pops up there.
Yeah.
Alternately, you can go to my Instagram and see the.
Yeah.
You probably have to dig a little bit there, but
it's up on all of our Instagram accounts, pretty much. It's up on MMIX, or no?
I'm not sure.
It may not be up on this particular account, but like, it's on our individual accounts, and I know most of the folks watching follow that. So if you can't access YouTube, it's there as well.
We serve the moon, we worship the goddess, we bow to the night, we pray for progress, we thrive in the dark, we dance in the ocean, we lift up the weak, we fight for the children. We share a dream, we share a vision, we see the truth, we fight your divisions, we call out your lies, we burn propaganda, we conquer your hate, our hearts are the answer. 'Cause we will burn it down, burn it down, burn it all the way justice. We pray for balance. We need a war. We need a famine. We need the pillars to collapse. We need a calling. We are the dead. Ours is the future. We are the dead. We're calling you out. Yeah, you. You and your towers, the lightning is coming. Have you ever even felt the ground before? You will. We promise you will. 'Cause we will. Burn it down, burn it down, burn it all the way down. Until there's nothing left but ashes. 'Cause we know that nothing will ever change if we don't change it ourselves. This is the time, this is the hour. We have the will, we have the power. This is the time, this is the hour. We have the will, we have the power.
And we're back.
Yay! Thank you so much for all the compliments on that, everybody. That's super awesome.
Yes, really appreciated.
Yeah.
There's lots of hard work doing things.
All right. So, do you want to pull from these questions, or do you want to go from what? Do you want to do one of the ones that Vera asked?
Sure. Let's do a Vera question.
Okay.
I think Vera's first question was, how long have you two been working together? Beep, bloop, bloop. So, rewinding a little bit. Bloop, 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 bloop.
I mean, technically we have the Wayne's World set up, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're not on a couch, but...
We could have.
Yeah, so, like, this is, like, our favorite, you know? Wait, what did they edit? No, Lydia was singing along. Yes, to answer your question, Lydia was totally singing along. We did not edit cat butthole. That was real time.
Yeah, the cat is a loud, obnoxious thing in real time.
Cute. Oh, Carla knows this.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
So we started working together about 3 years ago.
The very first time we worked together was for an organization called Make Art Dangerous Again, which was founded at the beginning, very, very beginning of 2017 by an artist, Lilith Delizio, and she, myself, and our very good friend Eric Malcolm Shriek were kind of like the triad of brainstormers for this this art collective. It was relatively small. It was a small handful of people, but we were the triad of brainstormers for this art collective. and Matt ended up like doing a decent amount of graphic design, if I remember correctly. Actually, I still have the sticker.
I do
still,
too.
Yeah, I want to go grab it, but you can keep talking in the meantime. But I want to go grab it really quick.
So yeah, I ended up joining shortly after they formed that, and around that time, I think Irina also needed some headshots or something taken for a professional. She wanted a professional look. So she came over to my apartment in Inglewood at the time, and I did a brief photo shoot, and the back of their shirt ripped open.
I needed like bullshit, like corporate. Oh my god, this is a whole other rabbit hole to fall down. But basically, I was doing admin for a libertarian, like not politician, but somebody very involved in the Libertarian Party. She's a wonderful human being. I don't necessarily see eye to eye on all the politics there, but I needed to make a separate work profile for working with her so that I could administrate some stuff, because I didn't really want all my performer stuff out there when I was so connected with somebody who like wanted to really build up a career in politics. So I wanted to make I wanted to have professional corporate looking so, Anyway, in case you were all wondering, I know the writing is going to look backwards, but this is one of the stickers that Matt designed for Make Art Dangerous Again. And it says, #Make Art Dangerous Again. Art is resistance. Art is truth. Art is magic. Art is dangerous. So that was from the little thing that we had at the beginning of 2017.
Here, let's hold it up for...
Yes. we have YouTube viewers as well.
Make art dangerous again. Boop, boop, boop. Carla has that sticker somewhere.
Simpler times.
Simpler times indeed.
All right. I think we should kind of maybe get a move on.
Okay, so
we've talked for a while.
Well, that's kind of the whole point. But so after we did that, we kind of were in each other's orbit for a while through karaoke, and then we started working together in Los Angeles and for X Corps as well. We did a number of collaborations there, in addition to collaborating with Mary.
I'm sorry, I thought you were going to say collaborating with each other's junk.
Yes, that's totally a thing that I would say.
Because, it's true. Anyway.
So anyways, then COVID happened. And
I'm the embarrassing one.
Yes. Can't take you anywhere. We should get on with these questions.
Well, do you want to curate another video, or do you want to ask another one of these?
Let's ask another one.
Questions. Okay, I'm kind of thinking maybe we shouldn't do every single one of them. But
okay, that's fine.
Okay, here's one though that I know that we'll both have.
Confessions? Oh God.
No. Here's one though that I know that we'll both kind of have opinions on.
Opinions.
What are some pet peeves about your artistic medium that you have?
Pet peeves. Okay. Glitch-wise, really hokey VHS or CRT TV overlays that it looks like someone created it on their fucking Game Boy or something. Like they're just really, really shitty. So, or if I'm like watching a movie or a TV show and they use like analog glitching on like a CCTV like digital surveillance system, I'm like, come on, do your fucking research. So that's that. Music-wise, hi-hat trills. Turn them the fuck down. Way the fuck down. Actually, don't even do them if you can help it. Yeah. If you can avoid hi-hat trills in your music, great. That shit is not original or new.
Yes! Like Steve Brule. Carla made a Steve Brule reference. We were just joking that, like, this was gonna be like a cable access show this time.
Basically.
Hi!
So get rid of your fucking hi-hats, or if you have to because you make trap music or witch house or something like that, turn it the fuck down in the mix. That's all I have to say about that. And lastly, there was this thing that people do where it's like this weird sort of muffled, strangled, echoey vocals in the background where it's like, and it's all pitch shifted. Ellie Goulding was doing that back in like 2011, and it sounded like interesting and new back then, but it's been 9 years, so find some new fucking ear candy already. Thank you.
Okay.
How about you? What are some of your pet peeves in your artistry and field?
Okay, so here's an interesting one. And if we have a recording of this and it gets put up on Insta, I think that maybe like my friend, acquaintance, colleague Fiza will really feel me on this one. But so in case it's not clear, my primary art form for the most part is dance performance, but it's specifically with a background heavily in Middle Eastern dance. These days, the term for that dance, sometimes it gets called Minat dance, which is an acronym for its regions and countries of origin. Sometimes you'll hear it called Sharki or Raqs Sharki. And occasionally you'll hear it called Oriental dance. Here in North America, a common name for it is belly dance. So these terms are effectively interchangeable. But in my specific dance form, when it comes to this, one of my pet peeves is actually like, you know, when people not of the culture, well, Faiza kind of called this like screechy white people on the internet, basically. Like, it's when people not of the culture lose sight of the concept that this is still an entertainment art form. So there are some, I guess you could say, screechy white people on the internet, and you know what? I'll admit to having been one of them at some point in time, and maybe occasionally now, I don't know, but you know, there's some folks like that who have lost sight of the fact that this is a living, breathing art form. Historically, in the countries of origin, and sometimes outside, it's been performed by people of marginalized bodies, social classes, and gender expressions. So that's a big factor in its execution. And, you know, it is a living entertainment art form. So when people not of the culture start ranting about usage of certain props or things they feel are gimmicky, things that they've arbitrarily decided to label as like Orientalism, especially if they're white privileged people and they're not really like checking in with practitioners from the culture, I'm a little iffy about that at best, just because it's like, but you're kind of talking over people who like perform this living, breathing art form in certain modes within the culture. So I think if we're not necessarily of the culture of those geographical regions, we need to be careful about not overstepping when we are trying to be ambassadors and have good intentions and educate the general public about this cultural dance. So it's an important balance, in my opinion.
All right. That was a good thing.
Let's do another video.
Okay, let's do another video. Let's do a video. Let's do a video. This is a...
Okay, so here's the cool thing about this next and final video. This is another world premiere that we're showing you right now. It is something as with the...
Hi,
Altman. It's something as with the very first video of the 3 tonight that we curated that, like I said, is a world premiere tonight, but it also was extracted, taken out of our MMIX VIP nights from last month, from October. So it's also basically an improvisational performance. It's an improv that happened on the spot. So this one's me.
And we're back.
Thank you for tuning into that. So I wanted to talk really quickly about that piece. I mentioned this at the beginning, but that was a complete movement improv. It was actually inspired just kind of by movement flow. A bunch of like contortion classes that I had taken over the past 5 or 6 months. And specifically classes with somebody named Bryn Root, who teaches this very signature kind of almost performance arty type of like contortion / exotic dance that she calls creep magnetic. So it was like exploring these really kind of like performance arty psychological themes through like this very like repetitious kind of movement flow thing. It helped if you had contortion skills for that particular class, but it didn't so much emphasize the flexibility as it did just delving more into the character and psychological aspects of it. So both this piece that you just watched and Leviathan, which is available on MMIX Art's YouTube at this point, were very inspired by the work I did with that class. So I want to be clear, this was not Middle Eastern Menat dance. It honestly was a huge departure away from that. It was not anywhere within that movement format. This was very like improvisational kind of creepy shit, basically. That's the best way to describe it.
It's one of my favorite pieces.
Yeah, and it was completely improv, and I'm looking back at it and I'm like, hey, I actually like that.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. Especially with the, like, sporadic beats going on.
Yeah.
It was very, like, random.
Like, I had listened to that song maybe one time through or something like that. So, all right. I think we should probably get to wrapping this up. I do want to pose one more question. This is another Vera question. So, Vera, thank you so much for being... for giving a lot of attention to, posing questions for us and everything like that. But one of the questions was, have you learned more about each other's creative skills through working together?
I mean, yes.
Really? Because I personally feel like when I talk about Middle Eastern like dance, like the differences between forms or like the music, just like if people aren't from the culture, their eyes glaze over. And I feel like I struggle with making people excited about what I'm excited about. So,
I mean, that doesn't mean that I haven't learned more about your artistry, your craft, and the ways in which you are capable of making art. And one thing that I have discovered is that you are full of a lot more sporadic and visually very cool ideas. Like you come up with a lot of the ideas for our shoots.
That's true. That's true.
I just happen to be the trigger man in those cases. I can often get stuck on the big picture, so it's nice to have that balanced out by someone who can be like, let's go out there and do this thing. Let's do it. Go. Make a thing. Obviously I'm not super well versed in all the different types of Middle Eastern dance that he goes through and the various specific stylistic differences between them all, because that would take years and years and years to learn. But I think you're a sexy robot. And you look really good when you shake your cute robot. Beep boop.
Well, as far as your art forms, I will say art forms because you have many. Well, number one, I kind of stole one of them. Like, I started playing with glitch apps on my phone pretty much when I started dating you. Just for the fuck of it. Because I was like, this is really fascinating. And then I learned that there were glitch apps out there where, like, you can use kind of glitch lines as like kind of an applied paintbrush. Like, it lets you parse down the image to a point where you can actually kind of create the glitch lines by hand, which I found like very, very beautiful. And I feel like I've always kind of been a disappointed / rather undisciplined like visual artist. It's a place where I wish I kind of had more time and energy to give, but my energy has gone to other places as far as the art, just because of what I enjoy doing and the fact that time is both an illusion but unfortunately limited. So so kind of having fun with glitch apps inspired completely by my sexy robot has really brought out a new side of me. And we're starting to do some stuff with MMIX where like Matt will take an image and then like I'll glitch the image, because a lot of the time it's him glitching the imagery. But yeah, I'm really appreciating kind of we've talked about like exclusive like music tracks potentially as far as our Patreon setup, where maybe he makes an exclusive track but I make some exclusive glitch art potentially, or something that can be like refined ultimately, but some kind of a raw glitch art image. And yeah, as far as other stuff that you do, I mean, I started to get to play with your gimbal a little bit.
Yeah.
Giggity. When we were doing the Servants of the Moon shoot, and I actually took that last shot in the video, and I was super proud of myself because I was like, I can push buttons. Anyway, that was probably offensive and ableist. Anyway, but hi, my name's Irina, and like a lot of people hate me. Anyway, yeah, so I'm kind of playing with shooting a little bit of video too. Like I never had the intention of like being a video artist, but definitely kind of like trying to rein in one of the other pending questions that we didn't get to, like music videos in the heyday of like 1990s music videos were also a huge pop culture influence on me. So the fact that I've gotten to like explore that a little bit, both participating and performing in the videos, and also kind of shooting and talking about shots setup and
Oh yeah, and you directed
Holding
that
the
whole
camera.
you directed that whole shoot we did in Ojai as well.
are you talking about the spooky robot noises?
No, the
Or-
BDSM one.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, but that's a still shoot, so
Yeah,
yeah.
but still.
I have good ideas for like still photography shoots just because that pours out of my brain. But video and music video stuff it's not immediately my forte, but it's something that I've also been excited to explore. And yeah, photography stuff and setting up photography shoots. Like I also kind of have dabbled in the past pre MMIX with a little bit of photography, but really only kind of in the digital age and not super deeply. So it's nice to have been able to explore that. Anyway, I think we should probably wrap it up right about here. Just
Wrap it up
because
every time.
Speaking of shoots, I am going to be on somebody else's shoot tomorrow. There will be more info probably coming on my personal page about that. But yeah, it's a belly dance. It's a rock sharky big video shoot project. So more info about that on my personal page. But anyway, we wanted to thank all of you so much. Thank you to our Patreons.
Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in.
Thank you to our friends on Insta Live.
Thank you for our YouTube viewers.
Yes, if you feel inclined and want to tip, you can send it to my Venmo this time. It's just at Irina Zara. Matt, if you want to type that in the chat one more time, you're welcome to, but you don't have to. Feel free to subscribe to our Patreon. So we wanted to talk about MMIX VIP nights for next month.
Holiday special.
December. Yeah. A couple of things. So first of all, this particular one next month, at least at this point in time, it's as far as the general public, if you are not our Patreon subscriber, there will be an admission fee for that particular one. So just keep that in mind. There's going to be a ticket fee for that one. We're super pleased to announce that we're going to have a performance by burlesque artist Tiffy Twister.
Yay, Tiffy Twister.
So
Guest
we
artist.
love the hell out of her. We're so excited to be able to host her. And we'll have more info about that going forward. So what should we say about the date?
We're trying to figure out a date now when people are going to be able to make it.
Yeah.
So
because it's December.
Yeah. So if y'all have a preference, please drop your date preferences.
Well, I think the choices are between Friday the 11th and Friday the 18th, if I'm remembering those dates correctly.
Yeah, because a week after the 18th is Christmas.
Yeah, it's
and
Christmas
It's not going to be on
Day.
Christmas.
Yeah.
It's not going to. We're just not going to do that to anyone because it'll just be crickets.
Yeah.
So
unless everybody's drunk.
Yeah, I mean, that could be interesting, I guess.
Oh my god, I had to hang out with my family. Please show me a titty. Or something. Yay! Sexy robo boobies.
So yeah, we're trying to figure out the specific date for that. It'll be comedy. It'll be mostly comedic themed and also slightly holiday themed.
Yeah.
There will not be an IGTV live stream of that.
So again, there will be a flat rate charged if you're not already on our Patreon to view the show. It's going to be on YouTube only. However, if you're not already a Patreon subscriber, we have a very affordable $5 tier. We have a $10 tier. And we're going to be rearranging that a little bit coming up, so stay tuned for more info. But we have some really affordable membership tiers, and the thing is, if you join as a Patreon at any level, every single month you get automatic access to our VIP nights. So that's a really great benefit. You don't have to be a patron at a certain level. It's for everybody who subscribes to us.
Correctamundo. And also, we just have some really cool shit on there that we don't post on Instagram.
Yeah.
In general. And we are going to be adding some new tiers with. Well, I don't think I should say anything more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all I got to say about that.
Thank you all so much.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed the curation of the videos. Thank you for supporting us in any way that you can. You're welcome to Venmo us tips, but no pressure. We hope you have a great night. Please stay safe out there.
Wear a mask.
Remember,
Stay home.
be in by 9:59 p.m. or else you'll catch the Rona.
Yeah, I mean, you remember that one time I almost caught COVID, but then I got home by 10 p.m. and I was like,
And
oh,
everything was okay.
whew, I'm safe now.
Fucking bogus lockdown, whatever. It's a last ditch effort. Anyway,
Fuck
whatever.
the police.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night. We love you. I would say you can share.